Welcome to Unicorn Recap. Today I am going to explain an epic historical adventure film called Apocalypto. Watch out, spoilers ahead. In the early 16th century, a party of ancient Mayans embarked on a hunting expedition to find a wild tapir in the jungle. Flint Sky heads the group, while his son, Jaguar Paw, distributes chunks of the animal to the rest of the crew, who treat them with great reverence. An outcast in the group falls for Jaguar Paw's deception and eats the tapir's testicles, claiming they will make him fruitful, but vomits them up after one bite. On their way back to the village, the gang encounters a nomadic tribe. The tribe appears to be starving and weak, and their sole request is for passage across the area. Jaguar Paw wonders what occurred. The wanderers explain that their village has been devastated. He wants to ask more questions, but Flint Sky stops him and lets the wanderers pass by. Jaguar Paw watches them leave, evidently concerned. Flint returns to the community a bit later and urges Jaguar not to be worried of what he witnessed. He argues that fear is a disease that can affect everyone. He assures Jaguar that they will consider what to do with the wanderers tomorrow, but there is no need to be concerned for the time being. The tribe rejoices in their calm surroundings as the hunters return. Blunted's mother-in-law chastises him for being unable to pregnant her daughter, much to the amusement of the rest of the tribe. Jaguar goes to his pregnant wife, 7, to be with her. That night, the tribe gathers around a fire while an elder tells them a story. After that, they drink, dance, and have fun. Everything is fine in this quiet region of the earth. The following morning, things take a tragic turn for the worst. As the clan sleeps, a group of Mayan warriors approaches in secret. They encircle the tribe, attempting to sneak in and grab the sleeping members. The tribe quickly becomes aware of the attack. This occurrence generates mayhem as everyone attempts to flee and resist the assailants. Jaguar successfully saves his pregnant wife and infant from the settlement, transporting them to a nearby hole in the earth. The hole is more than 20 feet deep, and he lowers them into it while the village is in flames behind him. While he's doing this, a warrior confronts him, and he must battle him off while protecting his wife. After placing his wife and child in the hole, he instructs them to wait for him as he returns to the village. Unfortunately, the village is beyond salvation, with huts torched and bodies spread over the land. Some people have died, and many more are chained and tied. Jaguar Paw discovers Flint Sky fighting a warrior, Middle Eye, and rushes to intervene. He and Middle Eye exchange blows, but it appears like Jaguar will conquer and even defeat him. But then Zero Wolf, the Mayan warrior's captain, breaks up the battle and throws Jaguar to the ground. Middle Eye is outraged that Jaguar got the best of him and wants to kill him right now, but Zero Wolf will not let him. Instead, Middle Eye kills Jaguar Paw's father in front of him, loving the misery it causes him. It is quite vengeful and, as one might think, and breaks Jaguar Paw. The tribe's members are currently imprisoned. They're bound together and forced to watch as the tribe's women, including Blunted's own wife, are assaulted and slain in front of them. As the warriors prepare to march, Jaguar looks back to the hole that he left his wife, 7. She has yet to be discovered, but now that he is leaving, there is no way she can escape. She is as good as dead. The warriors force the tribe to march through the forest. On their route, they meet another squad of warriors who are ready with another batch of prisoners. Jaguar notices that they were wanderers from the previous day. The prisoners have a difficult journey ahead of them. They are made to march through the perilous bush for days with their hands chained and linked together. One group of prisoners nearly tumbles off the edge of the cliff at one point while they are walking along it. Middle Eye pokes them and tries to get them to save themselves. It was a close call, but they are able to get back up mostly because to Jaguar. In the unlikely event that they were unaware of how meaningless their lives were, Middle Eye nevertheless drives the weakest of them off the precipice. 7 is back in the hole, waiting for Jaguar to come back. As they get closer to their destination, the prisoners see vast areas of land that have been cleared and massive trees that are being hacked down without any notice. The prisoners, who have never seen anything like this, stare in amazement at everything. They soon discover a wasteland where a small child is holding her mother, who has passed away. The warriors murmur that they should avoid her, since she is infected. They push the girl back when she tries to move ahead. She lets out a little laugh and warns them that their time is almost up. The man who chases the jaguar in the pitch black sky should terrify them. He'll put a stop to them all. They are obviously troubled by this prophecy. They arrive in the Mayan metropolis, and it is unlike anything that the prisoners have ever seen before. The buildings are massive, larger than any hut, and thousands of people are crammed into the streets, working hard. However, this is not a healthy society, and disease is common among its residents. As the prisoners make their way through the streets, they look at the onlookers with confusion and sympathy. This society is dying. On their way through, the prisoners are painted blue from shoulder to foot. As they walk past several murals, they notice notice portrayals of horrible sacrifices of blue-colored humans. Jaguar looks at the sketches, and Middle Eye nods and laughs. They are led to a new area. This location is focused on massive stone pyramids painted red, with stairs leading up the middle. Huge people assemble around the pyramids, chanting and dancing together. Jaguar sees terror and knowledge in the sacrifice victims' eyes. The prisoners are carried to the top of the pyramid, where a group of religious dignitaries will address the gathering. The high priest addresses the crowd, explaining how a plague has knocked down the city's inhabitants, making them appear weak. But they're not weak, and to prove it, they'll make some sacrifices to their powerful god. The crowd is cheering. The initial sacrifice is horrible. One of the inmates is dragged onto the podium, where he is laid out flat and, while still alive, is sliced apart. Before beheading him, they rend out his insides and sacrifice them to their god. They repeat this twice while blunted. Jaguar and the others stare on in terror, realizing that they are next and that there is nothing to be done. It appears as though Jaguar's time to be sacrificed is over when it comes to him. He believes that his time is still limited, thus he doesn't want to pass away. However, a solar eclipse happens right before the knife is inserted, and the Mayan society is terrified of what that entails. The high priest believes it is a sign from their god that he is pleased with their offerings and has blessed them. Jaguar's life is miraculously preserved, but only for a limited time. The remaining captives are transported to the outskirts of the city, to a large open field. Beyond the field is a jungle. Another prisoner is released in order to flee into the woods for their freedom. They do exactly that, only for the warriors to begin firing arrows and missiles at them. They try to avoid, but are quickly defeated, much to the amusement of the warriors. After that, Jaguar and another prisoner are instructed to flee. They cleverly zigzag their way to escape. They evade the missiles, seeming like they might be able to escape, until one hits the other in the face, and another hits Jaguar in the stomach. He goes down, appearing to be dead. Cutrock moves in to finish him off with a blade, but is distracted by Blunted, who clutches his foot. As a result, Jaguar gains an advantage over him. He kills Cutrock and runs into the jungle, relishing his snatched freedom. Zero Wolf looks in horror as his son gets struck down. In a rage, he orders his soldiers to pursue Jaguar, and the warriors retreat into the jungle in search of him. Jaguar is fleeing for his life, but he can hear the Mayan warriors after and tracking him. He thinks quickly and climbs a tree, hiding in the brush until the Mayans pass. But as he conceals, blood seeps from his wound and falls on one of the Mayan warriors' backs. They keep running, though, until they realize they've lost his trail. Now enraged and perplexed by what transpired, they spot the blood on the warrior's back and understand Jaguar Paw has taken to the trees. Still camouflaged in the trees, Jaguar Paw hears the call of a newborn jaguar from one branch over. He suddenly expands his eyes and notices a fully grown jaguar in the tree watching him. It snarls at him, leaving Jaguar transfixed in horror. Back on the ground, the warriors split out in pursuit of him. One of them notices Jaguar Paw running through the forest. They give chase, with one of the men rushing out in front and drawing closer. They are unaware that Jaguar Paw is being pursued by the jaguar, and when one of the warriors approaches too closely, he jumps between the two, causing the jaguar to leap and kill him instead. Jaguar manages to flee to the jungle. The warriors recognize that their friend's death is an indication that the omen given by the ill little girl is true. They are afraid that this will be the death of them all, but Zero Wolf instructs them to be quiet, that the words are meaningless, and that they must continue to pursue Jaguar Paw. Seven and her son are back in the bunker, listening to a pack of baboons fight overhead. One of the baboons falls into the hole, and Seven has to club it to death before it attacks him. The warriors continue to pursue Jaguar Paw. One of them discovers blue marks on a tree, but as he shows the others, a snake leaps out and bites him on the neck, killing him. They leave the body and follow Jaguar Paw. The warriors are getting nearer to him. He turns over his shoulder and sees them behind him. They shoot arrows and throw javelins, missing him by inches. He flees for his life until he encounters a powerful waterfall. He's standing on the cliff, staring at the crashing waters below. He glances back, sees the soldiers, and realizes he has no option. With one last breath, he rushes forward and throws himself down the waterfall, plunging to the depths below. The warriors presume he is dead until his body is discovered. Jaguar climbs to the shore, notices the warriors observing him from a distance, and then taunts them. He informs them that he is Jaguar Paw and that this is his jungle, which he understands better than anyone else. He dares them to follow. Zero Wolf tells his guys that they are going to jump, and when one of them argues, Zero stabs him in the chest without saying anything. He then instructs his men to jump before flinging himself over. Jaguar returns to the forest, but accidentally stumbles into a mud pit and nearly drowns. He emerges drenched in muck and lays on his back, appearing defeated. Meanwhile, the warriors are searching for Jaguar. When he suddenly emerges in front of them with a leaf folded above his head, he tosses it, revealing a hornet's nest that attacks and frightens the warriors. Jaguar then locates a venomous toad and uses its poison to cover 3 long thistles. He marks a site in the jungle and circles around to approach the warriors from behind. When they discover the marking, Jaguar Jaguar shoots the thistles at one of the warriors, killing him instantly. Middle Eye hears the scream and returns for it, but Jaguar appears in front of him, and the two lunge at each other. Middle Eye swings his axe violently at Jaguar. Jaguar dodges and slides under Middle Eye's swinging axe, then takes another axe off the ground and slams it into Middle Eye's head, killing him. Meanwhile, Rain rushes into the hole, quickly filling it to their feet. Seven goes into labor while struggling to keep her head above water. Jaguar dashes across the woodland, chased by Zero Wolf. When he hears Zero Wolf approaching, he turns around, but Zero shoots an arrow into his chest, knocking him down. Jaguar gets back up and encourages Zero Wolf to assault, only for a trap to rise up and pierce Zero in the chest. It's the same trap used to catch the tapir before, and Jaguar had told him that it was his forest. As the water level rises, Seven is forced to kneel on a rock to keep her head above water while giving birth. We observe the baby being born in deep water. Jaguar makes it to the edge of the jungle and stumbles upon the ocean, with the remaining two warriors following closely after. They all freeze, stunned to the core, as they gaze beyond the waves and out to sea. The warriors observe enormous conquistador ships anchored off the shore, with smaller boats approaching the land. Jaguar Paw takes advantage of this opportunity to depart the beach and find his wife. He comes in time to rescue his wife and two children from the water. Later, when Jaguar Paw and Seven skirt the jungle's edge and view the ships on the horizon, Seven asks whether they can approach them, but Jaguar Paw says no. He suggests they walk into the jungle in search of a new beginning. After all, he's Jaguar Paw, and the jungle is his home. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe for more fascinating recaps.